Would you like a easy and a natural way to attract more potential clients into your business without it feeling all icky and like it's really hard work? If you've said yes, then I'm going to be sharing with you in this video a 3-step framework that can make that a possibility and something that I've used myself in my business. So let's dive into what those 3 steps are right now. So step number 1 is something that Daniel Priestley has coined as being called getting the signal of interest from your potential audience, the people that you'd like to work with. And what he means by that is you're basically trying to get your ideal client to raise their hand to say they have an interest in what it is you have to offer. What's the alternative to this? And the mistake that I was certainly making when I first started out as a personal trainer was putting out information that was basically asking clients to give me a call to book a consultation. Now, that can work and you can strike gold sometimes, and people can see your advert or your social media post or your video that you put out and they can respond to that. But here's where it becomes a real challenge to get people to respond to that type of marketing as opposed to getting a signal of interest, which I'll explain how to do in a moment. The problem with going for the immediate booker call is that you are working on the premise that at any given time there's about 3% of people in your marketplace who are looking to buy your service from you at this particular point in time. And that's often the marketplace that people refer to as the bloody water, where you've got lots of sharks in there, lots of, not saying that you're a shark, but lots of people competing to get the attention of that 3%. So you're going up against, in my case, I work with busy professional women over 40 looking to lose 20 to 50 pounds. So who am I trying to compete against if I try and go directly for the sale rather than trying to get that signal of interest, kind of get them to raise their hand up? I'll be competing with, for example, Weight Watchers, Slimming World, other personal training studios, boot camps, online diet programs, online personal trainers, online weight loss coaches. So you can see there's a lot of people out there that are all going for that 3% market, and you need quite a big budget financially to be able to target that market on a consistent basis. So rather than trying to go for the 3%, what we're going to do is just try and get a signal of interest from a slightly bigger target audience, which would include the 3% as well, to see whether or not we can get them into our world so we can start to nurture, educate, and then at the right time we can invite them for a call if they'd like to do that. So that's step number 1 of this framework. Let's now dive into step number 2. So step number 2, how do we get people to show and raise their hand to say they've got some interest in our personal training services? Well, the way we do this is by creating what's called a lead magnet. Now, you may be familiar with that term. If you're not, what a lead magnet is, it's basically something that you create that's of value that you can offer to your ideal clients, something that if they saw this thing being offered to them, they'd go, you know what, I'm interested in that. Can I get a copy of that? Can I watch that? Can I listen to that? So it could be a checklist, some dietary checklist to do maybe protein sources. It could be an exercise video that you've put together, a short 5-10 minute workout video to show a basic workout that they'd find of interest. I have done things like that in the past. I've also used something called a Score app quiz, where I've created a quiz and people get to answer, half a dozen questions or so, and they get back a full-blown report giving them information on their mindset, their diet, and exercise. But basically, what you're trying to do is create something that you believe your ideal client would find of value. My recommendation is, if you've never done it before, start off with something really simple. Probably the simplest thing you can start off with, I would suggest, if you're in the same space as me, which is weight loss, would be something around diet or mindset or some basic exercises. And that can be a simple checklist, or if you've got the time and you feel like you've got the skills, it could be a short video series as well. Creating a quiz, which I have done, takes a little bit more effort, but I found that to be, out of the different things I have tried, the most effective thing for getting people to raise a hand and show that signal of interest. And before I share the 3rd step in this framework, just to let you know, I've put together some free training. It's called How to Create, Market and Sell Your Own High Ticket Fat Loss Program, 12 Simple Steps. There's a link around this video. Click on it. It'll take you to a page. Yes, you have to put your name in. Yes, you have to put your email in. That'll give you access, and I will then be sending you some emails, but you can unsubscribe at any time you like. So yeah, find the link around this video at the end and you can get access to that training today. And finally then, the third step in this framework is to capture people's details once you've offered them this free lead magnet. So when you create a lead magnet, you're going to send them to typically a landing page, a place where they can access the gift. And in order to access that gift, they need to enter their name and their email address. Once they do that, you then get them onto your database. Once onto your database, your email database, you can then start to educate people, nurture people, and make the occasional offer. So for example, if you're sending out, let's say, an email a week, you might send out value in week 1, value in week 2, value in week 3, and week number 4, you might weave it into some sort of a story, but actually put a call to action in there as well. But the beauty of building your database through offering lead magnets like this is that you own that database list. You may be on social media right now and have a huge following on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, but you don't own that list. You could be closed down at any time. And it does happen from time to time where people have their accounts closed down and they lose literally thousands of followers and they've gone like up in a puff of smoke. Whereas if you start to build your database, you own that list. So if you're ever closed down off Facebook, TikTok, or any of the other social media platforms, you've got an asset there where you can still communicate with people. And the other thing to bear in mind as well is this. In terms of social media marketing, organic marketing this is, your reach now is considerably less than what it was, say, 10, 15 years ago. When I first started out, and not that I did a lot of Facebook, because I didn't, to be honest with you, but I'm led to believe the reach was far greater. But now I'm told, unless you're prepared to pay to play, you will not reach even a fraction of your audience with your social media posts. So hopefully you've liked the training. If you have liked the training, check out the video on screen now, because I think you'll enjoy that as well.